readers, I referred you back after how to play today. We're looking at how to play the game Wainwright, the card game, which is from the good doctor, Rainer Knizia. Yes, he is an actual doctor, at least the board games. Artwork by Vincent Dutrait is very well renowned for his artwork in board games, very well liked. You can see he does beautiful artwork. As from Grail Games, plays 2 to 5 players, ages 8 up, in about 20 minutes. Pretty quick little game. This came out in 2021. It is a card game version of a board game that previously came out. And in it, you get 65 of these goods cards, which we'll look at in a minute. There's also 12 port cards, which you use in an advanced game where basically it has different rules for each kind of round that you do. Again, it's more of an advanced thing. There's also the same 12 cards en français because this game is in English and French. So, the box, by the way, is a bit too big. The story of the game is you are whale riders preparing for the winter. You get surprised by a sudden drop in temperature. The ice coast will freeze early, making the journey for supplies even more dangerous than usual. You have to visit ports along the ice coast to buy up as much as you can, but be careful because sometimes your fellow riders will turn against you. In the game, in this deck, you have a bunch of different items. You have, probably go through the list, 5 different goods and supplies: shells, kelp, meat, just meat obviously, pottery, and pearls. All of the shells are free, all the kelp is 4, all the meat is 5s, all pottery is 6, and all pearls are 7. You also have special cards like these ones here, which have, these are bonus cards. They have 2 of an item. They still have the same value for scoring at the end of the game, but they count as 2 during the gameplay. And then you have these cards like this that are frozen over, the winter cards, and they actually have an effect as well, which I'll explain once you get to how the game plays. But there is, in each of these goods type, there is 1 bonus card and there is 1 winter card. Winter is coming. So the way the game works is you'll shuffle up the card. You deal 6 to each player. I'll just throw those in there. And you determine a start player, I guess however you want. Randomly choose a dealer. It'll shuffle 65 good cards, dealing 6 to each player. And again, we're not looking at the special port cards, which is an advanced rule. There's actually a couple other variants. There is one where you can play a longer game, where you play 3 games in succession, comparing your total scores at the end, or play a succession games until one player reaches a certain total score of 100 or more. There's also a simplified scoring variant, which is better for a younger audience. Each card is 1 point instead of its printed value. At the end of the game, pearls are going to be 7 points each. Shells are going to be worth 3 points each. Kelp is 4 points each, etc., etc. And what you're going to do is simply, it's quite simple. On your turn, you're going to play a card from your hand, face up in front of you, and then you draw it back up. Everyone's going to do this, going around the table, taking turns. If you ever played a winter card, I'll explain that actually in a bit. Maybe we'll play, well, we'll play this one instead. For now, and he's already drawn back up. So, okay, if you play the winter card, that means all the cards of that type get zapped away. They're gone. And then you draw back up. And there's only 1 winter card in each of the goods types. There's only one in the pearls, there's one in the kelp, etc., etc. And so you keep going around the table. If you play something that is the same as what you already have, you just add it up like that. And this guy's gonna go, plays this card this time. This guy maybe plays this. And maybe this guy plays meat. And you just keep doing this, going around the table. Maybe I will play a meat as well. This guy decides to play pottery. This guy decides to play... He doesn't want to play the meat because he wants to score that one, so he doesn't want to get rid of it. So he's just going to hold off on that. Maybe he plays a double pearl. He's got all the doubles. And you're going to keep doing... You go around the table, like so, playing and drawing cards. And then, once a person has played a card that gives us the value of... It gives you as many cards as the value is the best way to explain it. Let me just draw back up. And basically what you're doing is you are purchasing a consignment of goods. And so when you have as many copies of a particular type of good as the number printed on the cards that have been played, face up among all the players, you buy those cards. And so you will win those cards. So once you play a sixth card of the value 6, the sixth pottery card, which has a 6 on it, everyone's going to take these cards and put them face down into a score pile. Then you continue playing with the next player. Maybe he decides to go back to pearls. And you keep doing this. Eventually, once you get through the deck, you continue playing as long as people can play stuff. And you do that until one final purchase of goods occurs. If it does, if it doesn't, then the game will just end. Nobody can buy anything. And then you will add up the values of all the cards in your score pile with the number value. Or if you want, you can just count 1 point for each card. And most points wins. It's an interesting little game. That's for sure. Now, again, when it comes to something like this, where you have a 2, this actually counts as 2. So right now we have a value of 4 pearls. If you wanted to look at that. And this guy decides to get in on pearls. It's kind of a stock type game. Well, not really. Oops, not really stock. But, you know, maybe I'll play this pottery again. Actually, no. You know what? I'm going to play this meat, which gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're each going to collect our meat, put it into a score pile. This guy finally scores something, and then we continue playing. So that's the basic gist of the game. You're playing cards until you get to a number of cards that matches the value on that. Counting the bonus cards is 2. So right now, again, for the pearls, we have 5 for value. 2 more pearls get played. We collect them. But if somebody comes around and plays a winter card, then, like, let's say this guy had this meat here, and this guy plays this one, the winter, you would get rid of those cards. So that's a game. It's pretty cool, pretty simple. Again, you can spice things up with these port cards, which, like, for instance, this one says, for a consignment to be sold, it requires exactly 5 goods, so it has to be a number 5 for that round. You can't do the pearls, for instance. You can't sell the pearls. This one would be 6 goods. This one requires 1 extra good, so instead of being 5 for the meat, you'd have to do 6. This one would be 2 extra goods. Cards are made in play until after 2 sets of different goods qualify to be sold. So kind of interesting. You can build up more cards and get more points. So definitely spices things up. The artwork is pretty nice, and it is pretty simple card game. They could have made it a lot more generic. And yeah, it is pretty nice. Comment, like, subscribe, let me know what you think. Check out Grail Games. I think this is a pretty cool game, pretty simple. I like it. We'll see you. Thanks for watching.